Namaste. Welcome, everybody. We are going over the 5 practices that I mentioned in our previous workshop on mental hygiene that we can do as an everyday at-home practice. So we talked about affirmation being the first one. So today's affirmation, what we're going to use is I am safe and relaxed. So that is a really good one for these times. It's really good if you're struggling with any form of anxiety in the moment. So we're going to use that as our affirmation today. I already gave tips on how to create your own personal affirmation in the previous video, so I won't go over that, but that will just be what we'll use in our practice today. So we're going to move on to a joint mobilization practice. So this is a practice you can do at home where we mindfully move with the breath. So we'll do that now and then get into the next few practices. Okay, so I would just start by sitting and doing a centering always before any practice, any meditation, any asana practice, any joint mob, and just start to tune in with your breath. So find that natural rhythm of your breath, inhaling through the nose, maybe exhaling through the mouth. You can always sigh out any tension, any stress, any worries. And once you get really established in that breath, we'll start to move. So let's start to move on our inhale. Let's take the chin up towards the sky. And exhaling, chin to chest. Now you can do this seated in a chair, standing. There's lots and lots of different ways to move your body, but the key is here moving mindfully. So every time I'm exhaling, I'm dropping the chin. Every time I'm inhaling, I'm lifting the chin. I'm trying to drop the shoulders down my back, a nice tall spine always. Okay, coming back to the center and then moving the head side to side. So I'm going to go sort of quickly through these so you just get a sense of how to do your at-home practice. But when you're at home, you're on your own time. So you decide how long. If you want to do 20 breaths per movement, go for it. I'd say generally 5 to 10 breaths per movement is awesome. So inhaling one way, exhaling the other. Okay, good. And we can come back through the center. And let's make some shoulder movement. So first, just starting to make shoulder rolls, big circles, back and down. Awesome. And then let's go the other way around, forward, back. And then we'll do one shoulder back and then the other. And inhale one way, exhale the other way. Good, and then let's make these movements even bigger. So here we're going to push the hands forward, and as you do that, allowing your chest to concave, your back to round, and then inhale, lifting up. And then exhaling, squeezing the shoulder blades towards one another. Okay, inhale forward. Exhale around and opening the chest. Okay, let's do 3 more. You can do this standing too with soft knees. Feels so good to just connect to the breath. And when we move mindfully, we really train the mind to start to notice how we feel, how to be in the moment, how to sense the body, so that maybe when, you start to notice more, it's like when you have a fine-tuned car, you are so in tune with your vehicle, you know when something is out of place, you hear a strange noise. In our bodies, it's the same way. We feel something is off. You notice when you're maybe getting a scratch in your throat or anything like that. It's an incredible practice. Let's keep going. We'll inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, take the left hand down, right arm's gonna come up and over. Nice side stretch here. And I always like to do some shoulder mobilization in this side bend too. You can keep your hand just over your head too if you don't feel like mobilizing the shoulder anymore. Other way around. Good. Awesome. And then reaching up. And then exhaling over to the other side. Finding that side stretch, and then we'll continue. Good. Other way around. So the key is just to move slow, move with the breath. Try to keep the mind focused on the experience. How do you feel? What do you feel? What do you notice? Good. And then coming back through the center, let's interlace our hands, push the palms up towards the sky. So nice. It's just to be with yourself, to be with your body and breath. Good. We can reach behind us, also interlacing the fingers. Opening up our chest here. Okay, so the palms are facing one another here. If it's easy, you can start to bring your palms closer together, wrists together even maybe. If it's hard, you can use a strap or a towel to kind of hold your arms. Okay, and then exhale, coming forward, rounding the spine, tucking the chin into the chest, and start to breathe into the upper back. And then release that. Okay, so some things we can do for our kind of lumbopelvic region here. We can take our feet and knees together. We want to be mostly on our sit bones if we can here. And then just moving the knees side to side. So this is a really nice one. Stretch into your low back. Good. Good. And then here on your sit bones again, we can take our knees, feet a little wider, draw the toes in to flex the feet, and then drawing one knee in and out, and other knee in and out. Good. This is really good for internal and external rotation of the hip joint. And then coming back through center. Again, you can cross your legs. You can have them extended. Just make sure you're comfortable. We'll start to circle around the torso. The torso around the hips. Okay, so maybe if you're sitting in a chair, you can do this. If you're standing, you can also do this. Okay. Feels so good. And then let's go the other way. I'm going to show you a few options now for this next one. Seated cat to cow. So you can round your spine here. Inhale and arch. Exhale and round. Inhale, arch. You can do that seated as well. Or if you want to come onto your hands and knees, drop the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, rounding, tucking the tailbone, tucking the chin. That's it. Good. And then from here, let's pop up into a downward facing dog. So spreading the fingers nice and wide, lifting the hips, pushing the thighs back. Okay. And here we can just pedal out the feet. So bending one knee and then the other. This is more of doing a posture than a joint mobilization, but it's still with these little leg movements, a good warm up for the joints, everywhere else. Good. Stretch it back. Let the head just hang. Shake out the neck and head. Long, deep breaths. Good. Coming down onto your knees. Sit back onto your heels. Bring your hands to your heart. We're going to inhale. Reach the arms up. Okay, as you reach the arms up, lift up through your hips. Exhale, we'll come forward through chaturanga. Inhaling in a little up dog or cobra. And then exhaling back to a child's pose. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower through. Inhale, up dog or cobra, and exhaling child's pose. So let's do one more. Lower that through. Inhaling up and then exhaling back. 3 long breaths here in your child's pose. Awesome. And then come back to a seated position. So what we're going to learn next is a breath exercise. Okay. So joint mobilization is just, again, it's mindfully moving. And it's really about warming up through the joints. So notice how we didn't do any like warrior poses or triangles or anything like that. It's about getting your joints lubricated. And mostly for that mental hygiene piece, it's about connecting your breath to your body so that you feel a little more grounded and embodied in yourself. Because oftentimes the body's here and the mind is somewhere else. It's one way to just link and integrate it. So all of my practices in the beginning, there's always joint mobilizations included. So you might just adopt a few into your own personal practice. Okay. This next practice is called Brahmari or humming bee breath. I mentioned last night in our workshop the benefits of it, but I'll just briefly go through them again. Brahmari is really beautiful because it includes some humming, so it creates a vibration in our chest and in our throat, and it stimulates a nerve called the vagal nerve. When we do that stimulation of the vagal nerve, it increases the vagal tone. The vagal nerve is a nerve that comes from the brain and then connects to all the different organs in our body. And so it's like a communication nerve to all of our organs. When we have good vagal tone, our stress response, we can respond better to coming down from that fight or flight response quicker than if we had poor vagal tone. So it's really beautiful. It also is one where it kind of just shuts out the noise around us. It helps with stress headaches and things like that. So it's a beautiful thing to include in everyday practice. Now, if you want to just hum and leave your hands down, you can. With every exhale, we're just extending a hum sound. But you can also do it this way, plugging your ears with your thumbs and just covering your eyes, kind of zone out and isolate the senses a bit more. So we'll take a deep breath in. So I'm just going to give you an example of 3, but you can do 10, 20, 30, 50 breaths like that, depending on how comfortable you are with that, how it feels. The whole key is to keep exhaling long without pushing anything. So you don't want to be breathing out so much where you feel like you're can't breathe, can't take that inhale, you're fighting for that inhale, you just want it to be nice and rhythmic and smooth. We're working on calming and slowing down, so don't hold your breath at any point. Okay, next is the reassurance breath. So reassurance breath is where we can be laying down in a pose called CRP. So that's like a bent knee position. Usually I will put some pillows stacked underneath my hips, but you can just be like this. You can even have your legs stretched out if you like. For this one, I'm going to put my little meditation cushion on my belly, palms facing up, and then shoulders just relaxing back and down. And here we're focusing on a belly breath. So that's why I put the bolster here so I could breathe in. Bolster rises, belly rises, and exhaling out. As you focus on the breath here, we're going to use that affirmation from before. I'm safe and relaxed. So you're just going to repeat that in your mind. And you can repeat whatever affirmation you're using. Remember, affirmations should be short and sweet and to the point. So that if I just met you on the street and said, hey, what's your affirmation? You know it in your mind. You've said it so many times. It has become this ingrained messaging of your brain. So for this one, breathing in fully, exhaling completely. I am safe and relaxed. So again, I won't do the whole practice. I'm just showing you. You can do that 10, 15, 20 minutes. 20 minutes, maybe if you want to. But you can do it as long as you want. It's so beautiful. You can do it before bed and fall asleep. Okay, the last practice is simply stillness. Now, a lot of people will say, well, can I listen to my guided meditation? Can I have some music playing? You can, of course, you can do all these things, but the whole idea is to get us used to being able to sit with ourselves, which is really hard to do because our mind, the nature of the mind is to think, and it will think about everything. The moment you kind of close your eyes and dedicate yourself to be silent, I'm sure so many thoughts will come up. So it's a good practice. It's a discipline that takes time. So my hope for you guys is that you start with maybe 2 minutes, 5 minutes, something shorter, something that you can maintain, where you're just sitting with yourself, closing your eyes, kind of shutting off the senses and focusing on one thing. Okay? So your one thing might be an affirmation repeated in your mind. It might be an image. It might be just watching the sound of your breath, which is a beautiful way, concentration practice. So whatever your thing is, whatever you connect with, I would say do that. And don't try to sample out a zillion things. Don't go, okay, today I'm going to just focus on like a sunset in my mind. And then tomorrow I'm going to do an affirmation. And to next I'm going to focus on my breath. Just pick one thing and stick with it and ride it out. Until you start to feel the peace that comes with this. Okay, so it might feel challenging at first, but eventually you'll get there. Okay, so we'll try it for 1 minute. Okay, closing your eyes, sitting up tall, relaxing your shoulders down away from your ears. You might be sitting on a chair. Idea is to have a nice straight spine. And just watching the mind. If the mind wanders away, you bring it back. And each time you do that, that is the practice of mindfulness. That is the practice of awareness. You bring it back each time. It's amazing. Imagine you had $1 every time you brought the mind back to this moment. You'd have so many. You'd be so rich. So it's worth it. You're investing in yourself, investing in your peace of mind. So being still and doing nothing is not valueless. It is a great personal investment. So I will leave you with that now. Those are the 5 points we discussed from our mental hygiene workshop. So if you have any questions, let me know. You can write to me at Awaken with Carly on Instagram or my Facebook page, Lokasanga Yoga. Thank you so much for watching. Namaste.